Hello everyone, I'm Jordana Van of Ravenlight Holistic Healing, and welcome to part 3 of my 4-part video series on energetic protection for healers and intuitive counselors and basically energy workers, anybody who works with anybody else's energy. If you haven't watched parts 1 and 2, you're probably going to want to do so because otherwise this video probably isn't going to make a whole lot of sense. So I've created this video and the others to answer one of your most frequently asked questions, which is if I'm a healer or other energy worker or an intuitive, etc., etc. How do I keep myself from picking up my client's energy? And how do I keep myself from expending too much of my own? And so in the last video, we talked about not over-identifying with the client and with why we really don't need to make their feelings, or in fact even their healing, our responsibility. And in this video, we're going to talk about everybody's favorite subject, money or compensation. You need to charge something for your services, guys. And this can be financial compensation or it can be a trade. I used to trade with my hairdresser, in fact I still do, and my massage therapist. Or as you are gaining experience in the field, simply having someone to practice on can be a form of payoff because it gives you experience. But it is important that there be some form of compensation for your services. You give, they receive, and then you receive something in turn. Now, if you don't think your services are worth charging for, what you are communicating to people is that you are not important. And so people are going to totally discount you and just grab for the product that you represent. Most healers, at least at the start of their practice, and I include myself here, are pleasers of epic proportions. And we have a hard time saying no. And if people think they can just take and take for free, they're going to keep right on taking and taking while we just stand there and let them do it. And because they are in pain, it is really, really, really hard for us to put our foot down. So charging for your services is a really clear statement that A, your services are worth paying for and should be taken seriously. B, your time is valuable. And C, that people can't simply waltz in and take whatever they want from you just because you happen to possess it. If they want your time and energy, guys, they're going to have to pay for it. And there's a reason that being taken advantage of feels so icky. It represents an energetic imbalance. The energy you expend and just giving somebody advice, if it comes from a place of I am tuning into you and I am going to see how you feel and I'm going to give an assessment that represents something honest and true instead of just what came off the top of my head, that is an expenditure of energy, okay? So the energy you expend is meant to be returned in kind. And these days, that return usually comes in the form of money. 2, people really don't respect what they don't pay for. Trust me, if your service isn't worth enough to charge for, then why is it worth enough for people to take seriously? Okay? So now I know that a lot of you guys are thinking of all those people in need out there who've told you that they really need help, but they can't pay for it. And this is going to sound callous, but if they can't pay, don't help them. Okay? Don't help people out of pity. If you're going to help someone for free, do it because you really, truly want to. And I mean the kind of wanting that comes from a higher self-directed place of this feels good and my reward is really just that I'm doing something that I inherently want to do. And not the ego-based place of, but I feel guilty if I don't. They need help and I'm here. I should. You aren't here to save everyone. In fact, you aren't here to save anyone. People save themselves, and you may just happen to be the person who shows up when they're ready, but you cannot mistake need for readiness. I'm going to repeat this because it's so important. Do not mistake need for readiness to change or heal. There are always going to be people in need, and most of those folks who tell you that they can't afford your services actually could. if they were willing to rearrange some things in their lives. It's really about priorities. You know, how important is their healing really? I have found through considerable experience, I have a really soft heart. So saying no to needy people was really a hard lesson to learn, okay? So I have found through experience that those people who are really willing to change and could legitimately benefit from working with me are the ones to whom money suddenly comes in bizarre ways, or they're able to restructure some things so that they can afford a session, and usually they can afford more than one. While the people for whom I used to make the mistake of working for free because they were in need, they never actually used what I gave them. They never made changes, and yet they just kept wanting and wanting and wanting. And so, guys, if the client is meant to work with you, and if they are really invested in doing so, the money will be there, or you will actually feel the desire to give to them. And again, it will feel good. It will be, I want to do this. This feels so good, as opposed to, I have to because otherwise I'm somehow a bad person. Okay? Now, here's the really tricky part. Yes, your client has to pay you in some fashion, or there has to be some form of payoff. Okay? This allows for balance. Our bodies really resent when there is a lack of balance. This is oftentimes when we feel sick and icky because people are taking from us and we're not getting anything back. But even though you need to charge for your services, you cannot view your clients as the be-all, end-all source of your income. I know this sounds nuts, but give me a second. I promise I'll explain myself. So if you view your client as the source of your financial security, you're going to worry that if you don't make them happy, that you aren't going to receive the money that you need to survive. So energetically, what you are communicating to your client is, my security depends on my pleasing you. And so to please the other person, because you're worried if you don't please them, you're not going to get paid, you're going to give more of yourself than you are comfortable giving. And you will take on all their crummy emotions because on some level you feel that your survival is in jeopardy. So you lower the drawbridge again because you're thinking, I'm going to do everything I need to do to make you happy, even if it hurts me, because I need you to be happy so that you will pay my bills. So, okay, this kind of makes sense. I mean, after all, you know, the client's paying us, right? But guys, the client actually isn't the source of your income. They're simply the channel through which the universe is working at this time. And it's a channel you've chosen, hopefully because you love doing healing work. And so you're happy that most of the money you receive flows from your clients as the, not the source, but kind of the facilitators. Your clients are your facilitators of income, let's put it that way. But the universe is actually the source of income. The universe is the one directing them to see you, is sending you clients, or putting you in the right places to meet them. If you can trust this, that the universe will always send you money and new clients, if you can trust this, then you're always going to receive the kind of financial support that you need, whether it's through clients or other means. Because I know that the universe is taking care of me, I don't feel like I have to somehow compromise myself to please my client. I simply have to do my best. And even if the client is unhappy with the outcome of the work, which doesn't happen often, but if that happens, then it's okay. And there are weeks where I don't see a whole lot of clients. And it turns out those are the weeks where I write my books, or I work on my videos, or I do other things, or I just have fun and goof off or whatever. And money comes in the weirdest ways. Or, you know, my husband will have extra money come in, or we'll get some kind of like return on our taxes or something. The universe always finds a way to support me. So this is really important. It is very important for you to eventually learn to be in this place of knowing that the universe is the source of money and not your client. Because what you will all run into if you do this kind of work is the uber needy individual who decides to start hitting you with emails and calls because they're in crisis and they want your help and they don't want to pay for a session. And you might feel good about helping them during this time. There are times when I have clients who do that, and you know what? The energy lines up and I want to give to them at this time. But there are other times where all they're looking for is some place to dump all of their misery and fear and they don't actually want your help. And so what they're saying is, I want you to be here for me for free, and you're afraid that if you don't do that, then they won't be there to pay you in the future. So if you can get to the point where you recognize that the client is not your source of income, that the universe can provide for you in the weirdest, most magical ways, then sometimes you'll help people, and sometimes you won't, but you'll always, always, always be able to stick with what feels good for you because you are not worried about your paycheck. So repeat after me, guys. The universe is my source of security, not my clients. I see clients because I love seeing clients, but not because I need to make money. Now, I am going to tell you guys the absolute bald truth, which is that it took me several years to get to this point. Because I come from massive security issues, and I just was not able to trust that the money was going to be there if I just did what felt good. But eventually I did come to a place of trust, and the more I trusted, the more clients there were, and the more money there was from the weirdest places sometimes. And the better everything began to work. So while you probably aren't going to get to this place overnight, though if you do, oh, I'm so happy for you, yay! But if you don't get to this place overnight, every little step you take is going to be a good one, and you're going to get there eventually, okay? So we're going to wrap up part 3 here. As you've seen, this information is very intense. You may wish to take a day or so between each video to really digest it. Now, if you watch all 4 videos and still need further assistance, I've created a brand new session to work with you on these things, and you can find it on the Services tab at my webpage, which is www.ravenlightholistichealing.com. It's kind of an experiment, so that session is up there now as I'm posting these videos, but it may not be in the future. By the time you watch this, I may have gone, you know, this isn't the kind of work I feel like doing with people, so we'll see. If it's the kind of work that you need and that session isn't up there anymore, let me know and I will see if I can adapt an existing session to meet your needs. Also, I am not going to be answering questions about the contents of this video on YouTube or via email. So if you have those questions, you will need to schedule a session. And if you are just interested in the kind of work that I do, then, or if you have other sessions that you're interested in, healing, life path guidance, animal totem interpretation, dream interpretation, whatever, you can check me out on my website, which I just mentioned, or you can follow me on Facebook at Ravenlight Holistic Healing. Don't look up my personal page because you won't get an answer back. So look for Ravenlight Holistic Healing. It's out there. And I will hopefully see you guys in the next video. Cheers, my darlings.